This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Coast to Coast. I am your host, Pags, fresh back from London. We got Bo next to me, StatGuy, wearing a funny shirt, out in the sun today. What's up, guys? Long time no see.
Yeah, man.
How was across the pond?
Exactly. You got to tell us about the trip.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I hope to have a ton of content coming here shortly. It's just I just downloaded it all into one spot, and it's literally like 623 megs of. I'm sorry, gigs. So yeah, megs. Yeah, megs is small. 623 gigs of stuff that I have to go through and start to edit and stuff. Obviously. Yes, you guys may have seen me over there. I was featured a little bit. You know, I know that in Seattle, it was a 7 o'clock in the morning game. So you may have seen it because I know you get up real early, but not many people, other people in Seattle saw it. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, the Phillies went 1-1 over there. You know, and blew it in the last second of game two. Almost as if they wanted the Mets fans to leave with a little bit of a good feeling. So,
yeah,
I mean that was okay. It wasn't the biggest deal. It's it was interesting to see exactly how many English and Europeans were there to watch baseball. I want to say there was probably a good 20 to 25,000 in the stands each day.
Nice.
You know, at least that's from what I could figure.
That's solid.
There was probably about 25,000 Phillies fans in general. Now in the UK, UK Phillies has the largest group of Philly fans or baseball fans in the world that are not in the U.S. It's the largest group of baseball fans for one team outside of the U.S. So it was a lot of fun to see them there, and it was just all around a great time. Yes, I did sit in front of Ryan Madsen. If anybody saw my videos, he wasn't the only one that I got to meet. I did happen to have Chase Utley come up and tell me that I looked effing fantastic a couple of times. You know, he said it to me on Friday and then said it again on Sunday. As I ran into him, and literally I was amazed. Yeah, now I mean, I go places in the United States and people know me. You know what I mean? So it's not like, you know, it's not a biggest surprise to me. Going over there and getting stopped by English people and other Europeans that knew me. They're like, "Oh my God, it's the Philly sports guy!" And whatever accent they were in was absolutely just humbling. It was very, very humbling. It's just, and I mean, you guys, whoever watched the game, saw me on the TV here. I was a big hit over there. Wearing the doing the Yukon Jack on my face. And I tell you, it was, it was hard. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do. I am not an artist. So trying to do that, I had to like really try to be creative. Uh, but it worked out amazing. It looked fantastic on TV. And I wound up even being featured on the Royal King's Guards.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, on their Facebook page. So it was like
Nice.
that
That's
was
pretty great.
so. I mean, all in all, it really was an amazing time. Of course, I was, I didn't sleep at all. Like just the I want to say I maybe got about over the 5 days, maybe about 16 hours worth of sleep. You know what I mean? I was just up
Did
and
you
down.
sleep on the plane?
No, I couldn't. And that's a whole nother story. It's just on the way over there, I thought I was doing the right thing, and oh wow, I wound up having a every once in a while, and I don't want to get deterred by this too much. I wound up getting an allergic reaction to pot.
Oh,
And I got one. Like it was, and like it was just like like and it's over in about a half hour. It's like a 30-minute thing, and I know it. I feel it when it's coming on, and I'm stuck with it for 30 minutes, and I'm like my arms are sweating, my body and my face turns like pale white. It looks
Perfect.
like I'm about to get really sick and stuff
At
like
least
that.
you were on an airplane for it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I got the wind blowing on me. I got my face up against thank God it was on the inside so I could have my face up against the windows. So, cause that was nice and cold. It was but anyways, so that's how my trip started. And I will tell you that trying to get anywhere in London is not easy to do unless you are taking the tube. But
that makes sense.
But the tube is a little daunting when you've never done it before. So the first thing you do is you got to go just jump in and do it, because once you do it, you realize how easy it is. But I want to say the transportation from beginning to the end of this trip was a challenge. From the plane ride over to the plane ride back, anything that had to do with transportation minus the tube was like a fight.
I gotcha.
Trying to take a bus somewhere, doing a bus tour in London, I wouldn't do it. I would not suggest it. Go and figure out exactly where everything is on the tube and do the tube.
Did you at least go on a double-decker bus?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were on double-decker buses. Yeah. I spent way too much time on a double-decker bus because you get just stuck in traffic. And
that's what I was thinking. You're just in traffic the whole time.
Yeah, so it was not fun in that regards. The games were great. It was a lot of fun to see the games. It was a lot of fun to, see the players and stuff like that. Obviously, running into Ryan Madsen, I ran into Ryan Howard, Jay Sutley, John Middleton. So and a lot of their wives and families and stuff like that.
Cool.
And a lot of people that know me here that also went over that I don't see all the time. So it really was just so much fun. I would suggest it for any fan base that has the opportunity to go, because I can imagine they're not going to bring the Phillies back next year. It's going to be somewhere else, some other team. Probably won't be the Cubs either because they went last year.
Yeah, they were last year, yeah.
So, or the Yankees and the Red Sox, because I think they went a couple years ago. So
I think if I remember it, I thought I heard it was supposed to be the Giants and Dodgers next year.
All right.
I thought that they're doing Korea.
Giants and Dodgers? Okay.
I mean, because that's what happened. The Giants and the Dodgers and the Padres did Korea. That's why they're going that way. I don't know that they're going to go this way, unless they're going to bring East Coast teams to go to Korea. But I think that's part of the problem. Yes, I finally did get to hear that. So obviously the first day on that Saturday game, they were showing me, and I realized, I mean, people sent me pictures. but I didn't get to see the broadcast until Monday when I went back to Passyunk Avenue, the Yunk, right there, Passyunk Avenue over there, and they were showing replays of the game. And I'm in the restaurant or in the bar without my face paint on, but everybody knows who I am, and they show me. They're like, "Oh, look, you're on the TV," because they were replaying the game,
Nice.
and I was on there for like 30 seconds, and I was like, "Wow, they really gave me a lot of time there." Here, I didn't hear it because they were playing music and stuff like that, and one of the sports talk radio stations were there broadcasting from that, so we couldn't hear any of the broadcast. But finally, somebody sent me the video, and after the commercial, it was a commercial for MLB.com, and then they said, but yeah, at the end of that, they said because somebody hit Whit Merrifield, I think, got out at first, and then he's like, "Yep," but you're not going to find face paint there at MLB.com. You'll have to go see the Philly sports guy who we just looked at for that entire commercial. And I was like, that's awesome that the
That is
Fox broadcast knew who I was.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think that's absolutely the first time that a national broadcast
Mhm.
mentioned me by name.
No,
I have
that's-
been
that's
mentioned a
awesome.
couple times by the Phillies broadcast, but never by a national broadcast.
I thought
So-
they mentioned you last year in the Eagles Buccaneers playoff game too.
They might have. And it's very possible. I mean, everybody knows me, so it's not like I'm hiding. It's like I put out a lot of content, obviously, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. Like I said, I get the joke. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm nothing but a fan like anybody else. I just happen to yell at a phone and post it.
I was just waiting for Brian to jump in the comments here.
Since you went over to London now, if Philadelphia ever does that Field of Dreams game that they do in Iowa, that's the next event that you have to go to, because I went to that 2 years ago when the Cubs played the Reds there.
That would be cool.
That event was freaking amazing.
I absolutely would. I mean, first off, any event that's going to happen, I'm going to be at. So something like that, I would actually try to work out with MLB on walking out of the field, like walking out onto
Out of
the
the
field,
corn,
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be
corn.
cool.
Yeah.
That would
Be
be
like, just to do like, and come out through the cord, like I would have to have somebody film that, and then me like,
I would go to that game. I would film that because then we'd edit you like fading into the screen. Right?
yeah, that would be awesome. That would
Have Mike Schmidt walk you out.
Yeah, if he would even do that. So, but yeah, it was. I mean, it all in all, it was a great time. And it's funny that you mentioned Brian because I saw a post from Brian the other day that he's like, of course it was the joke that he was blaming something else on me, and he's like, yeah, I'm hoping for green face paint in Brazil.
Oh man,
Ooh.
fired.
So
Trying to get you beat up.
I have already been told or mentioned that hey, there are people that are a little nervous about me going to Brazil.
Yeah.
So I you can't be afraid. You just cannot be afraid. You cannot live afraid. If I wind up getting being taken over by a bunch of by a cartel, then that's how my life ends. You know what I mean? That's just how that goes. I will be remembered forever, and the NFL will never go back to Brazil ever again.
I don't think they're going to go back ever after this year either. I think they're going to realize how difficult it is to have a game there.
Yeah, it'll depend on what it costs, right? Like if nothing bad happens, it'll still come down to how much did it cost to have all that extra security to make this a safe event.
That's
I
the key
think
right
that'll be
there.
the biggest deciding factor.
Yeah, that's the key right there. As long obviously they don't want anything to happen, but when you got to spend that kind of money for all that extra security, doesn't
Exactly.
make it worth it at that point to continuously bring it back.
Yeah, well, especially if everybody's in armored cars, stuff like that, which is
Mhm.
actually a pretty common thing to have down there anyway.
Yeah.
Not even with something as high profile as the NFL there.
For
Just
soccer,
people that
just
actually
for a
live
normal club soccer game, the teams have to come in armored cars.
No, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It may not necessarily make sense anyway.
So
Just constantly talk.
they'll be like, "Shut the hell up! All right, just let him go. We're tired of hearing his,
Right,
his
get him out
mouth."
of here.
So yeah, there were so many Phillies fans from the UK that came out, and it was just amazing. Like I said, Paul, it really was an awesome time over there. And like I says, I was humbled by how many people knew me over there and followed me from there, and not just there. When I went to Buckingham Palace, I had these guys from Germany come over talking to me about how they follow me, and that this Spanish, like they're from Spain, were following me. It's like
Oh, cool.
I was really surprised that, like, wow, do I really make it that far? Do I really have that type of widespread showing? And maybe I do. I don't know. So, but yeah, it was overall, just an amazing time. That being said, yeah, even the horses liked me. Yeah, the one that you guys haven't seen, the other video that I did, because that was the second video I did, because they have two horses there. The first one I went over and I just did it, and his head was turned the other way, and I'm talking, I'm doing my thing, and he turns his head right in and puts it on my shoulder as we're
Oh, that's
looking at
Nice.
the video. It really is like an awesome video. Um, and like it says, I got to edit it all out and do that. The second horse, which I did reshare because that was shared on the Royal King's Guard. When the Royal King's Guard Facebook page puts you up there, you share it.
Yeah.
That's
No,
when you know. That's when you
no
know you
question.
made it big time right there.
I mean, I figured maybe they were going to let me in and knock on the door to see if the king was home. So,
All of a sudden, we see you getting tased.
Philly sports guy. So, but other than that, there was some sports going on. There was some sports. There was some things happening. Um, what happened at home? What happened here?
I mean, the Mariners have found a way to make the White Sox games hard victories. They did win them all, but man, did they make it difficult. They ended up being like one run games. They go in the win column, but they shouldn't have been the way they went. But at the end of the day, they are 10 games over 500 and 6.5 ahead in the division. So, I mean, can't really ask for much more. Obviously, the Yankees been on a tear. They have the best record in the league now. So, it's baseball's been active. Obviously, the NBA is interesting because Dallas, I guess, forgot that they have a series to play. Kyrie's been an absolute liability, and looks like he forgot how to play basketball for this series, which is crazy because he was actually highly effective last go round. So they actually look like they could get swept. I mean, Porzingis is out hurt, and they still lost. So yeah, they're just finding ways to go down. I don't know.
I mean, if we're gonna,
I heard that Luka's playing hurt a little bit.
yeah, he's got like an ankle injury or something.
But
I don't-
And he fouled out too. He fouled
Yeah,
out
he
with
fouled
4
out,
minutes
yes,
to go. To be fair, what he fouled out on was actually an offensive foul, so he shouldn't have been called for the foul there.
Yeah.
He absorbed the charge like a champ, and he got the foul for some reason. And they were only down 3 with 4 minutes to go. But soon as that happened, it was over.
Well, Jason Kidd did call Luka out this morning, though, basically saying that Boston's targeting him because he doesn't know how to play defense, and if Dallas has any chance that he needs to learn how to play defense.
Well, I don't think he's going to learn how to play before tomorrow.
Oh, I know.
So
I also believe they win tomorrow. They're not going to get swept.
I don't think they get swept either.
They win tomorrow, and
Yeah.
not for anything because Boston wants to do it at home.
Yeah.
I think
But
it's
that
going to
would mean Dallas would have to win 2 games, though, because the NBA Finals goes 2-3-2. So that would mean Dallas would have to take the next 2 to get
no,
to go
then
back
it's
to
a
Boston.
sweep. Then it's a sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to wait then. Yeah, there's no way that I thought it was 2-1-1-1, but if it's not, then if it's 2-3-2, like baseball, then forget it. It's a sweep.
yeah, I mean, based on what we saw over these first 3 games, I mean, because Tatum hasn't actually played great basketball yet.
No.
So
Jaylen Brown has. Drew
yeah,
Holiday
he's been
has.
killing it. They've been getting bench help. Obviously, Porzingis wasn't an element of last game, but I mean, he was huge in game 1. So I mean, it's just they look like they're way too much for what Dallas has, because so far they have Luka, and that's it. I mean, Kyrie's been a liability everywhere, and he hasn't gotten enough help everywhere else. It's been him, and that's it. Obviously, Kyrie did put up some numbers yesterday, at least, but in key moments, he looked absolutely lost on the floor.
It's those Native American shoes they're getting to him. those basketball moccasins that he wears. Starting to lose the grip on him.
But yeah, I think they get swept at this point. Based on what we've seen, and even with Boston having guys out, they still get the win. It sure seems like Dallas is done.
And weren't you guys saying that this was Dallas in 7?
Yeah. I was expecting Kyrie to play basketball. Like I didn't think he was going to get out there and kill it, but I thought he was going to be effective. I thought that they would lose game 1 and then, it would just kind of go back and forth through the series. But I mean, they just really haven't shown up.
Yeah, I thought the long layoff for Boston would hurt them too, because they had the extra both teams had 5 days off between Game 7 and Dallas and the NBA Finals, but then Boston had that additional 5-6 days off because they made quick work in the series before that.
Yeah.
So, well, that's really. All of this is not a surprise. I mean, obviously, I thought Boston was going to win this game anyways, but the fact that the Mavericks went out to like a 20-point lead at the very beginning too. I mean, it was like I'm like, damn, maybe they're going to start to do stuff. But
then they went on that 20-2 run in the fourth quarter to pull within 4.
Yeah, I mean, with 4 minutes to go, they were only down 3. So I mean, they had opportunity.
We saw that in game 2 though too, because if you remember game 2, Boston was up by I think 17 or 18 with 6 minutes left, and Dallas cut it to 3 with like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've outside of game 1 where Boston just kicked their teeth in, Dallas has actually played Boston tough for basically 44 of the 48 minutes. But it's a 48-minute game. If you're not going to play tough those final 4 minutes, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did see that Kid here. It does say Kid. He's got to be able to guard, but yeah, he ain't guarding nothing.
Especially with 1 game left, right? Like you would imagine they're going to play some inspired basketball to not get swept in the finals. Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
I mean, at the same time, you need Kyrie to be effective. Like, he doesn't even have to be awesome. He just has to actually be effective to have a shot at it. Because I think Porzingis is still out.
Oh, the thing with Porzingis is it's such a rare injury that they don't even know when he's going to come back. Yeah. As in, like, heading into next season, too, they don't even know when he's going to come back.
Oh,
it's an injury that nobody's ever seen in the NBA, and it's an injury that typically happens with soccer players.
Interesting.
So they don't know, like, how long it's going to take for him to recover to get back to that point where he can start getting back into, like, basketball shape and doing basketball activities again.
Well, that yeah, doesn't matter. This series is going to be over.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I
And,
mean,
I still think Dallas gets one game, and I think Boston will take it in 5. I don't see Dallas getting swept. I think they get game 4, but I think Boston finishes in game 5.
I don't know. See, now I don't know because
I think
has
they get
Boston lost the Boston did lose a game, right? They lost the game to the Heat.
Boston lost the game. Boston lost one. No, they swept Miami. They lost one game to Philly, I believe, or was
They
it
didn't
2
play
to Philly?
Philly.
Who they played? Oh, they lost 2 games to the Knicks. They lost one game to the Pacers, but they realistically should have lost 3 because Indiana blew 3 games where they had a 20-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. So
I
I
don't
mean,
think they lost the
realistically,
game to the Pacers. I thought they swept the Pacers.
did they?
Yeah, I thought they swept the
Oh
Pacers.
yeah, so if they swept the Pacers, they had Indiana had 3 games where they led by at least 20 points at one point in the game. They just couldn't finish them off.
Yeah, now
It's
I'm going
actually
to go
why I
back.
thought Dallas was going to make this a real series because Boston kind of played a little bit shaky against, teams. Even in wins, they didn't look great all the way through, and every team they faced had injured players, right? Their main stars were injured, so that's why I was thinking, Dallas could actually, make this a series, and if it goes 7, I think they win. Obviously, they're in no danger of that happening, but
I guess you could say that with Luka though, because if Luka's hurt, he's not 100%. That's another series that the best player is going through an injury.
I can't even credit him with that though, because Luka's still the best player on that team.
Oh, I know.
So I mean, it's not like Luka's been off the floor. Maybe he's banged up, but okay, so what? He was going to score 35 instead of 30. That doesn't make the difference.
Great.
So I wouldn't give him that excuse because Luka's been out there every game. Even if he's banged up, he's still putting up his numbers. He had a triple double in game 2, I think. So
Yeah,
I mean,
40-point triple double.
Yeah, so I mean, if he's banged up, it is not showing up on the court.
No.
The fact that nobody else wants to play basketball is the main difference.
Well, yeah, because obviously the games have looked all about the same. 107 to 89, 105 to 98, 106 to 99. You know what I mean? It's like they can't score 100. They've scored over 100. The fact that they've scored under 125 is a surprise because that's what they were averaging. So they're not playing very well, but they're playing well enough to beat Dallas. So
no, I mean, and that's the thing, right? Is I thought Tatum not having a great showing would be the difference in this series, right? That's what I was saying before it started. And he hasn't played amazing, but he's played good enough.
I think he had the one good quarter in game 2 where he had like 15 points, and outside of that, he really hasn't done anything.
No, and that's.
I shouldn't say that. He's done stuff, but he hasn't done like the typical Tatum game that we're used to seeing during the regular season.
No, and that really was my whole point. Is if he's not having big games, I was thinking with Luka and Kyrie, that would be tough to overcome. But with Kyrie just being terrible,
well, he had 31 points last game.
He did. No, and that's why I said statistically this last game he actually looked okay. It was key moments, especially on defense, that he was a problem. Like one of the one of the plays during the game that ended up in a Boston 3-point shot was the ball movement was quick enough that he was just like literally spinning around in a spot, and the shot goes up, and he was just waving his arm because he didn't know where the ball was. So there were key moments that he's come up very small in this series.
When we look back at, or once the NBA season's over and we look back at kind of like this past year when it's done, I think we can all agree that the dumbest move of the offseason was the Bucks getting rid of Drew Holiday.
Yes.
Yep.
Drew Holiday wound up being on the Celtics. He's really the reason why they're doing so well in the first place.
And it took him not even 2 months to give him a 3-year extension because they saw how valuable he was both defensively. They saw how valuable he was offensively, not just scoring, but the way he can distribute.
Iguodala
with more
on the
scoring.
on the Warriors.
Yep,
That's what he is.
And he just
Yep.
gives you more scoring because Iguodala was a guy that was going to give you like 10, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Holiday's going to give you, what, 18, 6, and 6, which is all you can ask for from a point guard.
No, for sure. Yeah.
And both were drafted by the 76ers.
Yep. I mean, to Drew Holiday's credit, though, like, he's kind of a late bloomer because when the Sixers drafted him, like, he was a solid player, but he wasn't at the Holiday that he's been the last 5-6 years. Like, he was one of those players that came into the league as a good player, but it just took him a little bit to get to the level he's at now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, yeah, I think if the Bucks could redo that trade, I think they would still trade for Damian Lillard, but I could see them moving on from Middleton as opposed to moving on from Drew Holiday.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because putting Drew Holiday on the team with the current Bucks, they probably would be, barring injuries, they would probably be in the finals.
Because Middleton's 6'6", Drew Holiday's 6'5", so I mean you could move Holiday from the point to the shooting guard, and you go Lillard, Holiday as your guards, Giannis, Bobby Portis, and Lopez as your forwards and center.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, and the Bucks got knocked out in the first round with the 76ers. So, well, where am I? And that's that for that. So, in the other championship game, which will resume tonight, you have a 2-0 lead by the Panthers over the Edmonton Oilers, and Edmonton's getting frustrated. Edmonton is getting frustrated.
Yep.
And when they get frustrated, they're like crybabies. They are such big crybabies. And I love how that they really are crybabies. I can't stand Edmonton. I don't like them a little bit. I'm not a big fan of I'm a bigger fan of Draisaitl than I am Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid, I can't stand even a little bit. And it's not like he's a good player, but he is a little bitch, bitch. And that's what happens when you cover him and you actually play him good. He has no answer. And that's the problem. They're playing good defense over there.
Yep.
Should be.
So
yeah, I mean,
as we're listening to StatGuy give a little bit of encouragement to his son. Turn the camera around. Turn the camera around. Let's see what's going on.
Oops, hold on. I gotta figure out how to do that on this. Hold on.
Just literally do it, man.
Turn the phone around.
Yeah. I got it.
There we go. Nice. I see a cage, and it looks like there's some people. Nice, very nice.
Right
cool.
On.
So, how many people were in that camp?
It's just him and one other person. He's working with one of the high schoolers.
Oh, nice. Learning a different pitch?
Just getting more experience. I think this is like the first year that he's taking it like seriously. Last year he did it. Like he pitched like a couple times throughout the year, but like this is like the first year where they want him to pitch like a ton.
All right. Well, good. That's what you need. You need to be able to get things moving and everything on the right direction. How are you going to be a Cy Young unless you take it serious?
Right.
There is that.
So, they finally, switching. We'll stay with hockey for a minute before I go to football. The Panthers have just been killing them. They just have been killing them. They've been killing them on the boards. The defense over there has just been, nonstop. And Bobrovsky is the best goaltender in the world.
I think, and Bo and I talked about this Tuesday, I believe. It just seems like Florida has that mindset that they have unfinished business this year because they got to the Stanley Cup final last year and lost. And you kind of heard it all offseason that basically everybody on the team's like, not only are we going to get back, but when we get back, we're going to win it. So they kind of have that we have unfinished business mindset versus the Oilers are there for the first time in 30 years almost. And they're like, oh, we're here. Let's enjoy being here. Well, we still got to show up and actually play a game when we get here.
I mean, they've had one good period so far, and it was the first period of last game. That was it.
And they were up 1-0 after that.
Exactly. And that was their one good one.
I think tonight will be different, though. I think they do take Game 3 because of the Stanley Cup being there for the first time in 30 years. The crowd, the environment that's going to be tonight, I think they get tonight. I think that's going to just the environment alone. I think will be enough to put them over the top tonight.
I don't think so. Although, here's what I do think, that they wound up. So they had 2 days off in between these games.
Yep.
To get up to Edmonton. And, of course, they didn't leave until, like, yesterday. And, of course, it was storming, and it wound up being that they didn't get out of Florida until, like, 8 o'clock at night last night. So they could be a little jet lagged and tired. That may have more to do with it than anything else. I think that Florida, I'd love to see them sweep it. I don't care if they don't sweep it as long as they win it, because I don't want Edmonton winning it at all.
Yeah, I'm in your kind of situation. Like, I don't like Edmonton really. The only Canadian hockey team that I even care for is Vancouver a little bit. But like, even when it comes to like the NBA finals, the World Series, the NHL finals, I never want to see a sweep. I want it to go a little bit longer just because it's the finals. You want it to go like at least get 6 games. It doesn't have to go 7 games, but at least get it to 6 games and keep it entertaining for a little bit.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I feel like that sometimes that's not a good thing.
Well, so, I mean, the NBA right now, right? Like if Boston could just like close this thing out and call it a day, I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not good watching the games.
It's not. It hasn't been entertaining. It's been mostly bad basketball with a couple of runs that keep it close towards the end. If they could just finish the thing out, that'd be great.
So, yeah, it's just like last year watching the baseball, like the World Series. I mean, there was, once the Phillies weren't in it, I knew that Texas was going to win. And it didn't matter that, I think did Arizona even win a game or no? I think they won one.
They got one. They got one in Arizona. Texas went up 2-1. Then Texas went up 2-0. Then it was 2-1, and then Texas won the last 2.
Right. So I don't think that I'd rather the series be done, because why extend bad games?
No, exactly. That's why I want the Boston Mavs game to be done, because like it's bad. It's bad. Like it hasn't been fun to watch. It's not like it's been a bunch of lead changes and it's worked out that direction. Like it's been a beat down and then they've clawed their way close-ish, and that's it. It's like that. That's not fun to watch.
I mean, it's not like if this would have been like the Pacer series where Dallas was up 15, 20 points every game and Dallas kind of battled back, then that would be a series that I would want to go a little bit longer, just because Dallas is actually playing right with them for the most part. But like you said, this has been a series where Dallas has one 8-minute run in them every single game to battle back from 20 points down, and then all of a sudden the last 4 minutes they just go pooey.
Yep.
Well, it's probably when Boston takes out everybody, they catch up, and then they put everybody back in, and then it goes back to normal.
Yeah,
I think it's always when Drew Holiday's off the floor too.
Well, and when you look at the third quarter, right, this last game, it was close in the first half, really, and then the third quarter, it was a wrap.
I think in the series itself, I think Boston in the 3 games is like plus 84 in the third quarter, and then the rest of the game and the other 3 quarters, I think Dallas is like plus 30 or plus 35. It's just that third quarter is just kicking Dallas down every single time.
Yeah,
because all 3 games Dallas has been within single digits or winning by I think a point at halftime, and then by the end of the third quarter they're down by 15.
Right. So. It bees what it bees. But, hey, listen, just so that everybody will know, moving forward here, we are in the process of shortening up our show here. We're going to go from 2 hours to eventually an hour. Today, we're not going to do an hour. We are going to do probably an hour and 20 minutes. So this is our midway point today. I'm going to go ahead and switch to our station identification, and we'll be back just after these messages. You may see a new commercial in the mix here, as I have received a new sponsor who is going to get mentioned today at some point. So we'll be back just after these messages. So please stay tuned. I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, you guys any...
Trisha's having a sleepover tonight. Can I go?
I wonder about Lucy's friends. What should I say? I know you're only 10, but one of these days a friend will offer you a drink. And alcohol at your age can lead to so many things. None of them good.
So can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me
I
something.
finished my homework.
Bigger promise. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you. Your real friends won't care. Deal?
Sure.
Really?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov, a public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Supporting the needs of our veterans. That's the goal of all of us at Team AmVets. Like Mitch, Carlos, and Kevin from our Welcome Home team that brings furniture to our vets.
We are Team AmVets.
Or Linda from our thrift stores who brings you great bargains every day.
I am Team AmVets.
And John, who picks up your thrift store donations that support California veterans programs.
I am Team AmVets.
Visit our website or a Team AmVets thrift store to donate or shop today.
Join the team!
The garage. It's the mother of invention. A place where we chase our dreams and live our lives. At the intersection of hard work and innovation, it's the garage that brings our ideas to life. It's the heart of the home. The place we find comfort, where we create lasting memories while living life to the fullest. Garage beer. The everyone's, everywhere, everyday beer. This beer was built for every garage, every cooler, every laugh, every cheers, and every moment. Make the moment last forever. Lift one to life.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
And we're back for the second half of Coast to Coast, where we had a quick poof by
StatGuy
as he finishes up the lessons with him and his son. And that's good. I appreciate when older kids are teaching the younger kids how to do stuff. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
I feel like that's the better way of doing things rather than, sometimes coaches aren't the best way to do that. You have to give a little bit of peer-to-peer guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
But yeah. So there, talking about the NFL. Yes, the NFL has finally made a decision on the tampering charges that were heralded against both the Falcons and the Eagles.
The Falcons got nailed.
The Falcons did get nailed. They lose a 5th round pick, which is nothing.
They lose.
And they lose some money.
I was reading that they lost their 1st round pick.
This is a 5th round pick, is what it says.
Oh, interesting.
The NFL docked the Atlanta Falcons a 2025 5th round pick for violating the league's anti-tampering policy with quarterback Kirk Cousins, receiver Darnell Mooney, and tight end Charlie Warner, according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero.
Interesting. Oh, okay. I mean, a 5th rounder, who cares? So $250K in a 5th rounder, and
Yes.
they got the guy they wanted. Who cares?
Yeah. So Atlanta has to pay $250,000. General manager Terry Fontenot has a $50,000 fine.
Yep.
And the violations are considered logistical and administrative, such as making travel arrangements after players agreed to terms. Sources told Pelissero the league said Atlanta's violations took place during the 2-day negotiating window just before free agency officially started in March. The Falcons said that they were pleased this review is complete. We cooperated fully with the league and its review and appreciated the NFL's thoroughness. As we do with every process, we will review how we operate and look for ways to improve. The NFL also announced it won't discipline the Philadelphia Eagles following the league's investigation into the NFC East club signing of the former New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley for potential tampering. The investigation did not discover sufficient evidence to support a finding that the anti-tampering policy was violated. And that was from Ian Rappaport. Interesting. So, in other news, Saquon Barkley's dad did not get the same type of leniency as he was arrested for gun charges.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I don't know if it has it on here, but his father was. I know I saw what's his face write about it, Chris write about it, and I did read that story, but. Yeah, his father did something with gun charges, and he was arrested.
That'll happen.
So there you go. In the meantime, as he's saying, check my messages. I will. I'm sure it goes back there. We don't need to spend too much time on that. It's like, first off, his father is not playing football. It's and I don't like to talk about people's families. You know what I mean? That's inappropriate. If I ever wanted to get Saquon Barkley on this show, talking about his father is a really good way not to have that happen. Yes, and yes, that is exactly what I was going to say. Not only have they partnered with the Philly Sports Guy, they have partnered with both the Kelseys, as this garage beer was originally started in Ohio, and the Kelsey name is synonymous, and so hence they did do that. And they also, like I said, they are a big sponsor of the Philly Sports Guy. So yes, we get that video. Sorry there, Buffalo Wild Wings. We gave you an awful lot of chances here.
Right?
You're out of here. It's like I didn't mind the bowl. I would have downloaded the new commercial that I saw on TV the other day, but you guys said, nope, they're just showing our commercial. We don't need them. Well, guess what? Now we're not even going to talk about you anymore. When we want to go have wings, we're just going to go to that place.
That's right.
Where we have wings. You didn't give us any money.
See, and they're missing out. They're missing out. My channel just hit 1,000 watch hours for the last 28 days. So that is fantastic. That's averaging like 35 hours a day. I feel like that would have been prime real estate to have some advertising.
So obviously he's under contract for another year. It's possible that they could, actually put the franchise tag on him, which is what I would suspect is going to happen. And after that, they may even do it twice because they don't want to get rid of him. And so it's hard to imagine. I know he likes to be in Philadelphia. He's always up here. He's got Philadelphia roots. I think he's from Harrisburg originally. So there wouldn't be a doubt in my mind that if he had the opportunity, he would come to play here. But right now, he's not going to play here. So, but yeah. So, and yes, all right.
You want vegan dogs? Come on.
Exactly. First off, this is the biggest non-story there is.
Yeah.
Professional eating is not a sport. It's not.
It's a skill.
Right.
It. Yeah.
It is. So Joey Chestnut, as much as he's got Philly ties, I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't want to. I'm glad they kicked you out of the contest because I'm tired of watching you win it.
Yeah.
It's like watching Wilt Chamberlain play against a bunch of 8th graders. Right? Am I lying there? It's like that's what
you're not. So, he's won like 8 in a row, right? So
something like that. Yeah. Every year he beats his own record. So I don't care. He's like, oh, I'm going to eat the vegan dogs. Get the frig out of here. Who are you to say anything? Nathan's has been around longer than you, Joey. They're going to be around after you're dead. So when you choke on one of them vegan hot dogs, when you have a little bit of that plant material get stuck in your throat and they got to do the Heimlich on you, that's going to be, Nathan's is going to be laughing.
I mean, so will I. Nathan's will be around long after this vegan dog company goes out of business.
Right. So it is not. Yeah, that's not. I don't care about it. Not even a little bit. The fact that they are going to have a contest with Kobayashi, you're going to have Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut have the eat off, on September 1st. Like they're going to do it on Labor Day or whatever. That's what I have to say about that. You know what I mean? That's as much as I care about that. That is ridiculous. I ain't going to watch it. If anybody pays for it, I hope this loses the most amount of money there ever is. Because, first off, not that I have a problem with vegan stuff. You want to eat vegan stuff, go ahead and eat it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all you. You know what I mean? It's, what's it called? Quinoa, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how to say it. It doesn't matter. It's garbage. It tastes like ass. Rough. Scratchy ass is what that tastes like. So, just so that hey, listen, if you want to eat that stuff, that's great. If you need to eat plant-based food, awesome. Be a vegan.
All things being equal, I eat a lot of plant-based food called cows because that's all they eat is plants.
Right. I like my cow, and I like my cow cut up to size and walked through a warm room.
That's right.
That's how I want to eat it.
That's right. Sear that outer edge. I want it still bleeding.
If I could if I had like the claws to be able to bite into it like a lion, I would do it that way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It just tastes good. Yummy.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw this coming too.
Yeah, who cares?
That's another thing.
I'm just tired of hearing about it.
Well, that's what it is. He's trying to get more hype. And he realizes that he can't fight Tyson. You're going to see this get moved back again and again. They're going to do now what they've been doing, which what's his face did, fighting Usyk. What's his face in Usyk fight?
Oh yeah.
That's what's going to happen. It's just going to keep getting pushed, and by the time they actually do fight, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, he's got to wait till Tyson's 80 to actually win.
Robert, I just asked you. You know what I mean? I figured you knew exactly what it tastes like. So that's like right up your alley.
It's a space peanut.
So, oh, what happened here? No. I don't know what just happened. There we go. Wow, that was weird.
Well,
Anyways, I don't know. Something on my all of a sudden everything went blank on my screen. I was like, "What just happened?"
oh yeah, that means your signal dropped.
Oh,
That's what I see before I freeze on your end.
got you. But anyways, yeah, not. And I'm not trying to talk bad about vegans. Like I said, all those vegans in the world, keep
That's right.
going
Not
vegan.
trying to, but gonna.
Yeah, keep going vegan. That's all you. Just like me, eating meat is all me.
Yep.
You know,
In
I don't.
fact, I encourage you to go vegan because that means the cuts of steak are better at the store when I go.
Yeah, like I've told many people, what you eat doesn't make me poop, and what I eat don't make you poop. So you eat what you eat, I'll eat what I eat, and we'll go to the bathroom just fine the way we
That's
do.
right.
That's how I'm gonna leave it at that. But yes, I guess we should mention that real quick since
Yep.
Chris is
Very
gonna
well.
keep beating me. Um, the logo died.
Yep. Yep. I mean,
He played for the
isn't
Lakers. He was a good player.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he had amazing impact on the league, but he was 86, right? So I mean, it's not like it was a shock. You kind of see this was coming. But yeah, I mean, obviously, a sad day for the league, and huge contributor to the growth of the NBA. But again, 86 was a pretty good run.
There you go. I agree. Yeah, when you get to that age, count your blessings because you're on borrowed time anyways.
No doubt.
So you've already seen the world. You've been through all the wars that you're going to fight. It's time to move on. So
Are kidding? Half the time when I get out of bed, I'm like, man, I don't know. How many more fights do I got?
yeah, the fake meat.
Yeah,
I understand. Yeah, that's the fake.
I have heard. I've never tried it, but I have heard the Impossible Burger is actually pretty good. But the thing is, if you're going to go through all the effort of making chemical flavor to make it taste like meat, just eat meat. It's going to be healthier for you than whatever their weird chemical flavor concoction is.
Hey,
and if veganism's so good, why are you making it taste like meat?
Well, not only that, but I was watching the other day that they have this now meat printer.
Yes. Star Trek is right around the corner.
Yeah, so it's like they're printing it out, and it actually it smells like meat, it tastes like meat, and it actually, when you pair it apart, it actually looks like meat.
Yeah.
It's still not meat though. Listen, if we stopped killing cows, cows would overrun the country. There are more cows than human beings in this country. Nobody knows that. And everybody thinks, oh, yeah, whatever. Listen, if you stop allowing the cow, like if you just let the cows do what the cows do, they're going to overpopulate and kill us. They will run us out. Just imagine them unionizing.
To be fair, I think I've worked with some of them before.
Some cows.
Definitely the mental capacity of a cow.
Understood.
Veganism is not environmental friendly. I mean, as soon as it has ism on it, it's probably not good anyway, right?
Exactly. I concur.
There's not a lot of isms that are a positive thing.
Yeah. Hey, listen, they could eat gold flakes though. Gold flakes is vegan.
It's probably gluten-free too.
So I tell you, I did have a gluten-free piece of pizza while I was in London.
Is that the cauliflower crust or whatever?
I don't know. I took 2 bites.
Yeah.
And then I bounced it into the trash can.
So the second bite was the disbelief of the first bite.
Well, the first bite had all the cheese on it. So I'm like, maybe. And I took that second bite and I was like, and I feel like I stretched as I pulled it out. I'm like, pooh, boom, and it literally in the trash can it went. So yeah, I want all the gluten, all the sugar, all the caffeine, all the fat.
Yeah, give me my 3,000 calorie slice of pizza. I'm fine. Come with sauce and a nice smell. I'm not actually sure what you mean there. I haven't actually eaten any of the Impossible Burgers, if that's what you mean.
Well,
but I've been told
Impossible
that it tastes good.
Burgers. Impossible Burgers are typically made out of mushroom.
Okay.
And portobello mushrooms, like you could have a portobello steak and it actually like a portobello mushroom steak and it tastes like meat. So, and it tastes like meat. So that's typically what it's made out of. So I understand that it's a mushroom based. It's a fun guy. So
no, I mean that actually makes sense because I have had one of those burgers before. So, and it was good. Like it was solid.
Yes, it tastes like a loofah. Or it just tastes in your mouth like a loofah, like you're chewing on a loofah.
Oh, it's weird. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little crusty. Like it's like it's like you're eating a gristle burger. Like that's really the best way to kind of do that.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, actually.
Yeah, it's not, but it's all mushroom.
Sure.
So just like now, like they have these mushroom coffees.
Yes.
Have you ever tried it?
No.
Me neither. I'm not a coffee drinker in the first place. Actually, I will tell you this. I did have my very first espresso.
Okay.
On Tuesday night.
Okay.
Ever in my life. Ever in my life.
All right.
So we put a little bit of sugar in it initially. I put a little bit of sugar in it initially. I was like, yuck.
Yeah, probably a little bitter for you, huh?
Yeah. So I added a lot of sugar.
Yep.
I stirred it up, could hold the spoon, could, literally it was like, it's like putting sugar on your Cheerios and all the sugar floats to the bottom afterwards.
Yep.
And literally it's like you're scraping up the bottom to get the sugar. That's what I was doing with the coffee. I was literally like, I could scrape the sugar up off the bottom.
I like coffee. I'm not an espresso drinker.
I've never drank coffee before in my life.
Oh, and you just started with espresso? That is definitely the wrong route.
So, well, it was a birthday. I was having a birthday dinner with Vince from Philly Sports Trips. And he's like, hey, I never had octopus either. So I tried octopus. I was trying. Octopus is great, but I kind of expected it would be great. I just never ate it before.
I gotcha.
So I wasn't in fear of that. The espresso, though, I was a little bit more. And then we had this penne, whatever I had never had before. But that was like creme brulee without the brulee part.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's kind of what I looked at that as. But the espresso after now I realize I'm like the wolf, Winston Wolf. Lots of cream, lots of sugar. That's how I'd probably take my coffee. I'd want it to be sweet milk with a touch of coffee taste. That's kind of how I'd want it.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, like I have coffee every morning, and typically I have like a vanilla creamer or something in it.
Yeah, like that may do me. Like if I was to do it, I would have to have this much coffee, this much milk. You know what I mean? Like that would be kind of, and lots of.
And it also depends on like the type of roast, right? Like a lot of times espressos are a dark roast. I don't like a dark roast anyway. I'm a medium roast type of person, and they taste different, right? Dark roasts tend to be more bitter. They almost have like a burnt edge to it. But again, they use that a lot in espressos. So Irish cream, especially if it's like Bailey's. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, I'm great on that.
Or do the entire Irish coffee and throw some whiskey in there also.
Paul, no, it was not. I had thought about that a little bit too, but no, it was not. The suction cups did not stick to my throat.
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah, I figured once they're dead, they're not sucking anymore. So I literally, I mean, it doesn't crack. I mean, it didn't crack me out. At least I didn't think so. But
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not. I just don't do coffee. I just don't have the taste to the bitter.
Yeah.
So
Well, see, and for me, on the other end, I don't do energy drinks. I just hate the way they all taste.
I can appreciate that. I or just bring out beer. So I don't drink beer before noon.
Unless I'm camping
No,
or
no. I
or
I
golf.
bef-
If I do
bef-
golf, I'll need it before noon.
before noon I am drinking one of two things: mimosas
Yep.
or champagne, just alone without the orange juice,
Sure.
and Bloody Marys. That's it.
Yeah.
Breakfast of champions.
Typically for me, I'm the same route. I'll do mimosas. I don't like Bloody Marys, but I'll do mimosas if we're doing a brunch or something.
So there, Robert. I understand now why you're a weirdo. Squirrel is really tough. Like it's squirrel is one. It's very, very, very gamey. And two, to actually get squirrel, like squirrel meat, you have to kill like 18 squirrels.
Sure.
It's like there's just not a lot of meat on those squirrels in general.
Yeah, I can't say that I've eaten a squirrel.
Greyhounds
We just
over
got some weird stuff coming in now.
Greyhounds over Vermosa. I'm assuming he's meaning the drink.
No, for sure he is. Yes.
Yeah, he's not eating.
Yeah, he's not out
Greyhound
there
dogs.
eating greyhounds.
Those dogs are not a lot of meat on them either. Yeah, there is 5 o'clock somewhere. It's just not me drinking beer. I will drink Bloody Marys though, like it's going out of style.
Sure.
Or screwdrivers. Screwdrivers is a good, morning drink as well.
You could do a screwdriver. For me, usually it's a mimosa. I'll do a couple of pictures of those, because if you go to that bottomless breakfast, get that bottomless pitcher, and yeah.
Squirrel
I mean,
hunting
because
and-
you can't day drink unless you start early.
Correct. Correct. So, and squirrel, you'll shoot your eye out, Robert. And no, you did not eat the squirrel soup. That's good to know.
No.
Now, rabbit's a different story.
Yeah, rabbit's not bad.
Yeah, I've had some rabbit. Rabbit is nice. Rabbit and turtle are similarly tasting, actually.
I've never had turtle. That's interesting.
Turtle soup is amazing stuff. I like, but if you had if it wasn't in turtle, like if you actually had turtle meat, like a turtle steak, which is very small in general because it's very grainy, and it's like it has a weird texture to it, almost similar to turkey, but it doesn't stay together well when it's cooked. So where you could have like a turkey breast, you can't have like a turtle. That meat just won't stay together once it's cooked.
Interesting.
But yeah, I love turtle soup. Turtle soup is yum. Yum, yum, yum.
Only drink beer before noon if I'm going to an event. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was alluding to with the if you're camping, if you're golfing, something like that. I've woke up to, or the right kind of party when you were younger. So you'd wake up to somebody handing you a beer.
Oh yeah, breakfast of champions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, possum and raccoon. No, I'm not a big fan of. Gator is not bad. I've had gator jerky.
Yeah.
I have had pieces of gator. I have tried some gator. It was actually cooked at an Eagles tailgate last year by a good friend of mine, Sean, who cooked up the gator. $400. $400. Mako shark is good. I mean, if the shark is cooked right, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to.
I mean, that's meat in general. Like you can make all meat taste bad if you cook it wrong.
Or good if you cook it right.
Absolutely.
So it goes either way. It's like, what would you say is the most exotic meat you have ever eaten?
Uh, hmm. Probably gator, I guess, would probably be the most exotic. I would imagine. Um, yeah, probably that.
So interestingly enough, in Washington somewhere, they have a farm. Now, in the United States, the only meat that you could sell is farm raised meat. And if you want to get exotic meats, you get it from a place in Washington. I thought it was real close to Seattle. I thought it had a Seattle, uh,
Interesting.
but that there is that farm up there of exotic meats where you could order tiger, you could order lion, you could order venison and stuff like that. That they have the
I mean,
ability to.
that's not really exotic, but that's
Venison is not, but it's um, but to sell it legally, somebody can shoot it and bring it to the butcher and cut it up and give you some of that. Absolutely.
Yep.
But if you're going to sell it legally, it's got to be farm raised. So, and I believe they also had hippo.
weird.
I was told that I had, it was either hippo or rhino meat
Crazy.
at one point.
That
And it
would
was
be an
good.
interesting one to try.
It was good. Lion meat was good. I mean, those are the most exotics that I've ever had. You know, I've not had tiger meat. I've not had gazelle. I have had elk. I have had moose. You know what I mean? And being from Seattle, you probably know that more frequently. You probably see that more frequently.
Well, so yeah, I mean, I didn't really include those in exotics because, I mean, you can just go buy those.
Can you?
Yeah. At the right time of year, you can. You know, when it's. I mean, I guess when I bought it, it would be like farmers market style stuff. So, yeah, but I mean, you can get it is the thing. So I don't really include that in exotic meats because they're available.
So I've had that. I've had that typically in jerky. So when you get the exotic jerkies, that's the really good stuff to get. Like it's like, oh yeah, and gator jerky just tastes like regular jerky. It's a little rough. It's a little just like tougher, I think.
Yeah, it's almost drier.
Ostrich is very gamey.
Mm.
It's just very, very gamey. But cooking up an ostrich egg is cool. No, I have not had the tiger's blood. I did not go that route. I hear it keeps the yang up. You know, winning.
Right.
But so yeah, that's it's you know, like I said, I at one point when I have a hotel restaurant management degree and I wanted to open up a restaurant that would have had to have been opened up in the city and it was going to have exotic meats. So you have to find out where to get those exotic meats and you would have had to get them flown in from Seattle, or that's the hub where it would have come from. Because that's the only spot that had it. And it was like, you know, the thought process was there. I was going to have it a very, very chic jungle theme. You know what I mean? Like that, because you're going to get lion and tiger and jaguar and stuff like that, like your elephants and such. It's like when you get those types of meats, it's, you know, you want it to have like a very thin jungle meat. Is that where it is? That might be what it is. AA meats.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so I know that they have all those different types of exotic meats. And it was like I was going to cut it at the table type thing, like just here's your cut, everything's market price, whatever the market is and such. And I was going to call it, I think it was sirloin, you know, like
funny.
just sirloin, you know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
Never came to fruition, obviously.
Sure.
So. Wild boar is good. That tastes like pig. So, I mean, obviously, horse meat is actually not bad either when it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a real thing that McDonald's was making horse meat. Yes, kangaroo. I've had that jerky, kangaroo jerky. Also, very stringy, very stringy. The meats taste. It's just got a very weird texture to it. Kookaburra is also one. I hear Kookaburra tastes amazing. I have not tried that.
Yeah, I haven't tried that.
Snake is good meat sometimes.
Yeah, bad snake. Yep.
Yeah, I want to be one of those guys that get like one of those anacondas and have somebody cook it up and then make some boots.
Well, I mean, lots of surface area, so you should be able to do it.
Exactly. Something will make it happen. But other than that, yeah, like I said, we're still, I'm still a little bit of ways from being able to.
I have not eaten anyone's pet.
Hot dog soup. That's not what we're talking about here, Robert. Yeah, the Chinese place. If you want some cat, those ribs are definitely from a cat.
Well,
I don't know.
That's like when was living down in Mexico. If you went to the right stand, you could actually get dog tacos. I did not, but you can get it. But at the same time, hard pass. Like, I'm good.
Hey, what did they tell you? Was it the Patriot? Dog is a fine meal.
I mean, lots of places eat. So, I mean,
yeah, I mean, I got to imagine that I have not, I only have assumed that I've eaten dog. Now,
I mean, all things being equal, with the amount of tacos that I ate down there's a good chance that at some point I probably did. Like there was a couple of stands that they sold kind of interesting things. Like you could get I forget which animal. I think it was goat brain, something like that.
So goat itself, very rare places sell it, but it is good meat. That is actually better than cow meat. Actually, I think. Goat is like if you could get goat meat, it's leaner, it's better tasting. It's just all around better. Like I'm a lamb fan. Like I like lamb chops. I like all that stuff. But goat is really, really good. Like a goat fillet is much better than I think like even a steak fillet.
Okay. I mean,
but yeah,
I've only ever had goat meat in a taco. So, yeah. And it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when it's in a taco, you got all the other seasonings in it. You wouldn't be able to tell it from regular ground beef.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So
I mean, it was okay.
Yeah, in fact, I had one of the things I had over there. We went to a tapas place in London, and we had pork shoulder.
Okay.
And you would have sworn it was steak.
Okay.
You know, it looked like steak when it came out. It had the texture like steak. It tasted really good like steak. Like you could they're big on back bacon over there. Like the bacon over there is like the back bacon over there is like our bacon over here. Like that's what I like it. I feel like that their bacon, their normal bacon is too salted.
Oh, okay.
It's over salted. But the back bacon is actually more like regular bacon here. So that's pretty good. But and then there's of course the black pudding, which is their version of scrapple. And I know that you have no idea what scrapple is, but
I don't. But I know what black pudding is. So.
Yeah, so scrapple is it's a Philadelphia thing, and it's great stuff. It is great stuff for people who like it. You know, you fry it up like bacon. It's amazing. You should definitely try it one time. I'd have to ship it out to you to bring it. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll try to bring it with. Well, no, I ain't going to last for 2 days while I stop in Denver. But yeah, that being that, one day when you come to Philly, we'll give you some scrapple.
Sounds like a plan.
But anyways, in the meantime, we are going to call it quits for the day. An hour and 20 minutes. Like I says, we are going to be lessening the show down to a 1 hour time limit just because it's been really tough. Obviously, with all the travel I've been doing and things like that, it's been a real fight to have these guys do the show without me. Not that they don't have the ability to do so. It's just not fair to them because I'm the one that talks all the time. So
yeah, I mean it's tough, especially this time of year because there's been so much on everybody's schedule. Obviously that's why this last week it was hit and miss because I had some stuff going on. Obviously Jay's been in and out, and StatGuy, it's the middle of his work day. You were obviously overseas, so it's definitely easier if one of us has to take the show over to do it for an hour instead of 2. So it makes way more sense to do it for shorten it down to a 1 hour show.
So, will Jay be joining us again?
Who knows?
We think.
He did say that he would have shown up at some point today, but I did tell him that we were ending early, so we will probably we're obviously not going to get a Jay sighting, but yeah, I mean it sounded like if he was going to come on today, it was going to be for the last like 20 minutes anyway. So
yeah, so he's going to miss it today, and maybe he'll be back tomorrow, maybe on Monday, maybe actually Monday I may not be here again, or if I am here again, you're going to get to see me on a golf course.
Sweet.
So
But again, it'll be a 1 hour show then.
Heckling golfers.
Sweet. That'll be fun.
That's what's happening. I was asked to attend the Jason Kelsey golf outing where we are going to be heckling golfers.
That's fantastic.
So it's going to be fun.
That will be hilarious.
So I will definitely have a lot of content of that. But in the meantime, guys, everybody have a great day, and you will see us again tomorrow at the normal time. Everybody have a good one.